Albert Fish was born on May 19, 1870 in Washington, D.C. He later moved to New York where his larger crimes were committed. His father was 43 years older than his mother, and when his father died, Albert was sent to an orphanage. Here he was abused and teased and developed an appealing to sadomasochism. During this time, he also developed a homosexual relationship with a Teller boy who then introduced him to urolagnia and coprophagia. He also began a habit of going to the public baths and watching young boys undress.
Sometimes where, you might not have extreme forms of physical abuse, there is always some kind of extreme emotional or psychological abuse that these young children are subjected to, which really warps them out of shape. I mean, in one way or another, they come to associate the infliction of pain with pleasure.
Albert Fish's family was full of people with psychological issues. His uncle was diagnosed with mania, his brother was sent to a mental institution, his sister was diagnosed with a mental affliction, his mother had visual hallucinations, and 3 other relatives also were diagnosed with mental illnesses. A little bit about his personal life. Albert Fish was married in 1898 and had 6 children. However, his wife would leave him for another man and left his 6 children in his care. Albert Fish had 5 to 15 cases that were proven or alleged in which African Americans and people with mental disabilities were his targets. Fish believed that these people would hardly be missed if they were taken out. Albert Fish was classified as an organized non-social offender, but displays traits of a disorganized non-social offender as well. As a child, he exhibited bedwetting until he was 11 years old, which is one of the warning signs of the McDonald triad. As an adult, he showed signs of both a lust serial killer and a thrill serial killer. Albert Fish had 3 well-known crimes. The victims were Grace Budd, age 10, Billy Gaffney, age 8, and Francis McDonald, age 8. Out of his 3 crimes, Grace Budd is likely to be his most well-known. Edward Budd, her brother, had sent out a work ad and it caught the eye of Albert Fish. In the beginning, he intended to take Edward, but Grace caught his eye when he went to visit the family. Fish was then able to persuade the Budds to let him take Grace to a quote-unquote party, and Grace was never seen after that. Much later, Grace's mother received a letter from Albert Fish himself stating the crimes that he had committed. He admitted to strangling her and then cutting her up and eating her flesh. However, this letter contained the emblem of the New York Private Chauffeurs Benevolent Association, or the NYPCBA. This helped detectives determine where he was going to show up next and were able to arrest him as he showed up to collect the check. After his capture, he was tried and was given the overall penalty of the electric chair, which led to his death on January 16, 1936. I believe that Albert Fish committed these crimes as a result of a lifetime and large familial history of psychological issues that arose and caused him to form immoral and irrational thoughts and desires. There seemed to be many warning signs through the way he was treated and the odd behaviors and habits that he picked up throughout his life. Other warning signs could be things like his weird sexual pleasures to pain and odd desires that he formed. I also believe that Albert Fish could have a possible case of antisocial personality disorder. He explicitly shows signs of disregarding and violating people's rights and lives. He exhibits behaviors like sociopathy and psychopathy. I do not believe Fish would respond to treatments at all. As he found killing and pain delightful, it seems as if he had no remorse for his actions, and as a result, no treatments could have prevented these crimes.